Hello YouTube. This is a trail for Freebsd handbook. It is a trail because the good part is on the road instead of on the destination. So let's take our time, and no matter it is a few weeks, a few months, or longer, we will learn something during the trail. Freebsd is a 4.4 BSD Lite-based operating system for Intel x86 and AMD 64. Sun Ultra Spark computers. Intel x86 stand for those CPU series with 32 instruction set. AMD also fabricated CPU with 32 bits instruction set. The older CPUs use this kind of architecture, and it is all called I386 or 80386. AMD 64 stand for newer CPUs, which use 64 bits instruction set. Intel's counterpart is called Intel 64. It is also called 86 multiply 64. So Intel and AMD's CPU series are the most prevailing CPU used on the laptops. Most likely you are using one of those. Again, Intel x86 stands for the 32-bit instruction set CPUs, and AMD 64 stands for 64 bits instruction set CPUs. Those CPU is more powerful because their instruction set is longer, like they use a more complex vocabulary. So the CPU can execute commands more efficiently because the vocabulary is longer. And 64 bits CPUs sometimes backward compatible with 32 bits CPUs. If you are using the virtual machine, you don't have to you don't have to defer a 64-bit and 32-bit because virtual machine can simulate both instruction sets. So when you choose a virtual machine, those limitations can be relaxed. And okay, Sun Ultra Spark computers are less popular than those two. Ports to other architectures are also on their way. What can Freebsd do? Freebsd has many noteworthy features. Some of these are preemptive multitasking. So while you are using your web browser, you can also send emails and listen to the radio at the same time. Multi-user facilities. Both you and your roommates can log in to the same FreeBSD operation system. Of course, each of you need to use a different terminal because you guys cannot share GUI. However, you guys can share the same hardware, the same CPU, memory, and software installed on the FreeBSD machine simultaneously. So your roommates is play video game where you are using the word editor. So both of you are logged into the FreeBSD and use the operating system at the same time. FreeBSD has strong TCP/IP networking. It supports popular network protocols. For example, DHCP is the most popular protocol supported on the home wireless routers. It assigns you IP and gateway routing and DNS server. So they are hosted on the common wireless routers, and it support other protocol like point-to-point PPP and IPsec is for tunneling and IP version 6. It have memory protection. That means even though one of your program crashes, your operation system continue to run, and it won't affect other programs running under the same operation system. And the industry standard X window system. So it's like similar to remote desktop. X window system allows you to remote login to your FreeBSD and have a GUI rendered on your own machine. We have this visited later. It can provide graphical user interfaces such as GLOM, and it has binary compatibility with many other builds for Linux, ACO, and many like BSDI, NetBSD, and the packages on other system can be ported into FreeBSD, and FreeBSD's packages can be ported to other Unix systems. It supports virtual memory. So if your application need a lot of memory, which your hardware memory didn't match, and the operating system can use paging to solve that problem. It swamps your memory contents into the hard disk, and later after the computation is done, it swamps the contents from the hard disk back to your memory. So from your application's perspective, the virtual memory it store is limitedness. Of course, since it's virtual, it's simulated memory. It is slower than the physical memory. And SMP support for machines with multiple CPUs, and it a full complement of C and C++ development tools, and many other languages can be used on FreeBSD as well. And it is open source. That means whatever you want to understand, you can read the source code and figure out how it works. It have excellent online documentation and lots of good features. Okay, and here are some common usages of FreeBSD. The robust TCP/IP networking built into FreeBSD makes it an ideal platform for a variety of internet services, such as www web servers. It could support HTTP and HTTPS. Web uh, web servers support both IPv4 and IPv6 routing. It could be changed into firewalls and gateways, or FTP server, electronic mail server, and more. FreeBSD is also a good platform for education applications. You can install many engineering software like Cadence, Virtuoso, those for electrical engineering, and you can also have mathematical software installed there, like MathWork, sometimes used for signal processing, and it could be used for research because FreeBSD is open source, and you can tune the operating system and customize so that some features is standing out. And because this flexibility, researchers choose FreeBSD as a platform. Sometimes if you have older PCs sitting in the corner, you probably can use install a FreeBSD and turn that free hardware into a name server or a router or other kind of network devices like firewall. FreeBSD didn't take too much resources, and it didn't picky for the hardware, so this is a good choice. You can use a FreeBSD as an embedded system development platform. It supports ARM, MIPS, and PowerPC platforms. It coupled with robust network stack, cutting-edge features, and a permissive BSD license. FreeBSD makes an excellent foundation for building embedded routers, firewalls, and other devices. Chances the router you are currently using at your home probably have a FreeBSD branches running there, and sometimes even your home electronics use FreeBSD as an operation system. It's good for embedded systems. FreeBSD can be upgraded into a desktop qualified operation system. You can install GUI. Have a freely available X11 server, and you can install standard GNOME KDE graphical user interfaces. FreeBSD can even boot disconnects from a central server, making individual workstations even cheaper and easier to administer. You can use FreeBSD as a software development environment. The basic FreeBSD system comes with a full complement of development tools, including a full C, C++ compilers, and a debugger suite. FreeBSD is traced its root back to the Bell Lab, and Bell Lab is also the inventor of C and C++. So it's like a natural cobble Unix system and a C C++. Um, who is using FreeBSD? A lot of big names like Apache, Apple's Darwin, and the Apple iOS, Cisco. Cisco's Iron Port network security and anti-spam applications run a modified FreeBSD kernel. Citrix and many other Junos, Juniper, they are using the FreeBSD. And we saw other names, McAfee and Netafenix, VeriSign. FreeBSD is also used to power some of the biggest sites on the internet. There's a list. So again, welcome to FreeBSD. See you next time.